Diddy's empire collapsing and Meghan's savage revenge. Celebrity implosions exposed. In a trial already packed with bombshells, this may have been the moment the courtroom collectively stopped breathing. A man known only by the pseudonym The Punisher took the stand, his real identity sealed, but his allegations anything but quiet. He claims to have been hired by Cassie Ventura herself, yes, the former longtime partner of Sean, Diddy Combs. His role? Not just sex work. What he described were carefully choreographed freak-off sessions held at the Trump International Hotel, where he was allegedly instructed to perform explicit acts, sometimes involving multiple participants, while Diddy watched, recorded, and gave orders. It wasn't intimacy, it was orchestration. Each encounter, he says, earned him $2,000 in cash, slipped to him discreetly by Cassie. The visuals he painted were disturbing, not just for their graphic nature, but for the eerie power dynamics at play. The Punisher's words struck like shrapnel. He wanted control. Total control. Even when he wasn't touching anyone, he was directing everything. But despite the shock value, legal experts say the testimony on its own doesn't establish federal crimes. It's salacious, yes, but is it RICO? That's where things get slippery. Then the prosecution pivoted. They introduced a new witness, Cassie's mother. She testified that she once borrowed $20,000, a loan she says was taken out specifically to pay off Diddy in exchange for suppressing alleged sex tapes that could ruin her daughter's life and career. Prosecutors are calling this the keystone of an extortion scheme. They argue it fits squarely within the framework of racketeering, suggesting Diddy was operating a long-term pattern of coercion, intimidation, and payoff demands. Meanwhile, the defense team is pushing back hard, framing all of it as an emotionally charged breakup, not a criminal conspiracy. They say it's messy, personal, and regrettable, but not illegal. Inside the courtroom, the atmosphere is electric. Some jurors are said to be visibly frustrated, overwhelmed by the nonstop parade of shocking testimonies, conflicting narratives, and media attention. But this is just the opening act. More witnesses are expected. Federal investigators haven't brought RICO charges yet, but make no mistake, they're watching, gathering, and building. And if what's already come to light is any indication, the worst may still be ahead. Diddy trial, the Punisher's freak-off testimony. The courtroom wasn't prepared. No one was. When a witness introduced only as the Punisher stepped onto the stand, the energy shifted. Anonymous, mysterious, and devastatingly specific. This man, a professional sex worker, delivered testimony that could unravel everything Sean, Diddy Combs has worked to keep in the shadows. According to him, he wasn't just some hookup or side hustle. He was hired directly through Cassie, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, and paid in cash to participate in what he called scripted freak-off rituals, bizarre, high-pressure sex parties set up in luxury Trump hotel suites. But the most disturbing part? Diddy wasn't just in the room. He was allegedly watching, recording, directing, like a producer with full creative control over bodies, boundaries, and consent. Each session earned the Punisher $2,000 in cold cash. No receipts, no paper trail. Just a dark transaction and a door quietly closed behind him. What he described was theatrical, ritualistic, and psychologically manipulative. Participants were chosen, positioned, and commanded like chess pieces. And behind the curtain, Diddy allegedly controlled every move. Now here's where it gets sticky for the prosecution. Freaky? Absolutely. But is it criminal? Not automatically. As of now, no federal charges directly tie Diddy to the events described in this testimony. There's no physical evidence yet, no hard link, but the prosecution isn't banking on just one shocking story. They brought in another voice, one that changed the tone completely. Cassie's mother. Her testimony? That she took out a $20,000 loan. Money she says Diddy demanded to keep explicit sex tapes locked away forever. This, prosecutors argue, is no longer about private vices. It's about extortion. They say this proves a pattern, a system, a racketeering enterprise hiding behind celebrity wealth and NDAs. But the defense isn't folding. Their rebuttal? This isn't a criminal conspiracy, it's a lover's feud spun out of control. They're calling the entire narrative revenge fantasy served cold in a courtroom years after the relationship ended. No crimes, just chaos. Still, the pressure's mounting. The jury looks overwhelmed, insiders say. Eyewitnesses report emotional fatigue and visible frustration. The court is quickly becoming a circus of salacious claims and blurred lines. And yet, this is just the beginning. More witnesses are lined up. The prosecution is sharpening their angle. And federal investigators? They're hovering quiet, calculated, and close. Make no mistake, RICO isn't off the table. It's just waiting for the right match to light the fuse. Megan Thee Stallion vs. Tory Lanez, never-ending bullet drama. It's been 3 years since gunfire shattered the night in the Hollywood Hills, 3 years since Megan Thee Stallion claimed she was shot by fellow rapper Tory Lanez. He's now behind bars, serving a 10-year sentence. But the headlines haven't stopped. The feud hasn't faded. If anything, it's flared up again. Last week, Megan hit social media with fresh fire. In a scathing Instagram post, she accused influencers and blogs of spreading lies, not accidentally, but strategically. She claims there's a whole machine working against her, a paid digital smear campaign. And at the heart of it, allegedly, Tory Lanez's own father bankrolling content creators to distort the facts and protect his son's name. Then, like a twist straight out of a courtroom drama, Kelsey Harris's former bodyguard entered the chat. At a surprise press conference, he dropped a bombshell that Kelsey, Megan's former best friend, privately confessed to firing the gun. He says she admitted it when emotions were raw and secrets were still slipping out. But here's the catch, he never said any of this under oath. So now the question becomes, why now? Where was this testimony during the actual trial? Is it damage control? Is it truth delayed? Or just noise in an already chaotic storm? Megan's response? Direct, defiant, and razor-sharp. In a tweet that lit up the internet, she wrote, "Tory, you shot me. Facts are facts. No metaphors, no subtweets, just straight truth in her words." Meanwhile, Megan's career is surging. Her latest single climbed the charts within days of its release. Streaming numbers are spiking. Public support, especially from female fans and fellow artists, has been pouring in. But the internet isn't unified. Tory's defenders remain loud, persistent, and convinced there's more to the story. Some still cling to the theory that Kelsey was the real shooter, fueled now by the bodyguard's claims. Others say Megan's outcry isn't just about justice, it's about clearing her name in a world that tried to tear her down for speaking out. This is no longer just a courtroom case, it's a battle for narrative control. It's fought on social feeds, in court transcripts, and between blurred loyalties. A public soap opera where every new revelation feels like a plot twist. And the biggest question lingers, who else knows the truth and who's still hiding it? Because in this saga, one thing's for sure, the final bullet hasn't been fired. Denzel Washington vs. Paparazzi, touch me again, I dare you. This week at the Cannes Film Festival, amidst the flashbulbs, designer suits, and cinema royalty, Denzel Washington made headlines without saying a word into a mic. It happened in an instant. Onlookers say the Hollywood icon was walking the red carpet with his usual quiet presence when a paparazzo reached out, grabbed his arm, uninvited, trying to maneuver him into a better shot. Denzel's response? Ice cold, razor sharp. Witnesses say he locked eyes with the photographer and delivered just 6 words that shook the scene. Touch me again, I dare you. The moment was quick, but the message was permanent. Cameras caught what looked like a shove, firm, deliberate, and completely controlled. No outburst, no screaming. Just Denzel commanding respect the way only he can. Now, the photographer is trying to walk it back, claiming it was all a misunderstanding, that he was just doing his job. But a closer look at his history raises questions. 3 prior complaints, yes, 3, have been filed against him for similar behavior. Grabbing talent, getting too close, crossing boundaries in pursuit of the perfect shot. Organizers haven't commented, but the streets around the Palais are buzzing. Was it self-defense? A justified boundary check? Or an overreaction from a star with nothing left to prove? Denzel's answer? Silence. And a jet. He skipped the lavish after-party, left the glitz behind, and caught a late-night flight straight back to New York City. Why? To begin rehearsals for his upcoming Broadway run. That's the Denzel difference, no theatrics, just precision. Insiders say this was never about ego. It was about principle, about drawing a line that too many celebrities are afraid to draw. In a world where actors are often expected to smile through invasions of space, Denzel's move was a rare flex of personal power, not violence, not aggression. Just a reminder, stars are human, not props. And in true Denzel fashion, he didn't need a PR statement or social media apology tour. He let the moment and his absence speak volumes. Touch me again, I dare you. 6 words that flipped Cannes on its head. A masterclass in boundaries from a man who spent decades mastering his own. Justin Bieber's Vogue meltdown. You'll never be on the cover. Justin Bieber has had his fair share of viral moments. Some epic, others less flattering. But this one is the kind that gets etched into celebrity folklore. Sources close to the couple say that, during a low moment, or maybe just a badly timed joke, Justin told Hailey she'd never be Vogue material. His exact words. Allegedly, you'll never be on the cover. Well, guess what? She is. Fast forward to today and Hailey Bieber is not just featured in Vogue. She's front and center, solo, styled to perfection. And the internet is eating it up. The issue dropped just days after the quote resurfaced, and fans immediately started drawing the connection. Was this poetic justice, or just the universe showing off its sense of irony? Caught in the spotlight, Justin made a swift public apology. He took to Instagram with a short caption that read, "I was sadly mistaken. No elaboration, no excuses, just 6 words drenched in regret." But behind the scenes, sources say the remorse came with a $500,000 diamond necklace gifted to Hailey in what insiders are calling a peace offering with sparkle. But here's the real kicker. Hailey hasn't said a word, not one official comment, no shade, no clapback. Instead, she posted a TikTok, a smooth, smug dance dripping with unbothered energy. In this age of passive-aggressive PR wars, her silence is loud. Her message? I win. I don't even have to say it. Fans are calling it a clean sweep moment, Hailey emerging as the silent victor in what looked like a public embarrassment turned power move. And while some still speculate the Vogue cover was a coincidence, others say it's a subtle form of revenge. Not petty, but precise, calculated, a masterclass in soft retaliation. Meanwhile, Justin's been laying low. No red carpet appearances, no interviews, just cryptic posts, love songs, and attempts to redirect the narrative. But the damage? Already done. For a pop icon known for impulsive behavior, this moment might go down as one of his most expensive learning curves. And in 2024, when reputation is currency and social media is the scoreboard, Hailey's Vogue cover isn't just fashion, it's a flex. And Justin? Well, he's just trying to catch up. Post Malone's custody war, cheerleader X versus Utah dad life. What started as a private split is now turning into a high-stakes custody standoff, and at the center of it all, Post Malone, the chart-topping superstar now fighting not for the top of the billboard, but for custody of his daughter. His ex-girlfriend, Jamie, a former cheerleader-turned-influencer, has filed legal paperwork in Los Angeles, asserting that their young daughter primarily resides in California. Why LA? Because under California law, child support payouts can skyrocket, especially when one parent is a multimillionaire with tour buses and tequila brands. But Post's camp is pushing back hard. His legal team argues this is nothing more than a jurisdictional power grab. According to them, the child has been living with Post full-time in Utah, not just visiting, but actually enrolled in local schools, attending pediatric appointments, and even photographed participating in local events year-round. Jamie's counter? She submitted receipts for a handful of cheerleading classes in LA and a few doctor visits, suggesting the child has significant ties to California. But that evidence, according to sources close to the case, looks paper-thin when weighed against months of school records and community involvement in Utah. This isn't just about geography, it's about money, control, and public image. If California retains jurisdiction, Post could be on the hook for tens of thousands more per month in support payments, calculated against his celebrity income. But if Utah holds the case, he stays shielded by more modest and privacy-protective state laws. For Post Malone, who has traded tour bus chaos for a quieter, low-key life on his sprawling Utah estate, this battle represents more than a financial stake. It's a personal stand for the family life he's worked to build outside the spotlight. Insiders say he's deeply involved in his daughter's upbringing, intentionally keeping her away from the flash of paparazzi and the LA media circuit. So now it's up to the judge. The decision won't be made by net worth or fame, but by the one question that cuts through all the noise. Where's this child's true home? 2 parents, 2 states, 1 daughter, and a legal chess match that could reshape the rules for celebrity custody cases. Whispers, war zones, and the fall of icons. From billion-dollar sex scandals to digital smear campaigns, from red carpet shoves to courtroom breakdowns, Hollywood is cracking at the seams. These aren't just headlines, they're fault lines in the world of fame, fortune, and facades. Diddy's vault isn't empty yet. Insiders say more footage is coming, and what's inside could redefine the case and destroy reputations. Names are being whispered. Allegiances are shifting. This isn't just a trial, it's a purge. Megan Thee Stallion's war rages online. Tory Lanez's camp digging trenches from behind bars. Denzel Washington just reminded everyone why he's untouchable. And Post Malone may soon prove that even rock stars can win custody with quiet strength. And as for Justin, his apology tour may be more than just about Vogue covers. It may be about saving a marriage from the very spotlight that built it. So the stage is set. The players, cornered. The truth, still crawling out from under diamond chains and courtroom carpets. Subscribe, hit that bell, and drop your verdicts below. Because in Hollywood, every empire falls, it's just a matter of who tumbles next. And trust us, the next headline is already loading.